What Tiger Woods witnessed this weekend wasn't just another victory. That IT wasn't a major. It wasn't a Sunday back nine at Augusta. There was no green jacket, no thunderous roar down the 18th fairway. But somehow it meant more. Because this time, Tiger wasn't the one holding the club. He wasn't chasing history. He was watching unfold, just a few yards away at A.T. Ballinal's Country Club during the Florida Amateur Championship. Something far deeper than a win took place. It was a quiet answer to a question that's lingered for years, whispered in locker rooms, debated on broadcasts, and carried in every swing the young man ever took. Could Charlie Woods ever step out his father's shadow? This wasn't about legacy anymore. It was about arrival, about a son beginning to write his own chapter in a story that once seemed too heavy to inherit. And for Tiger, standing just outside the ropes, watching, not leading, this might have been the most meaningful moment of his career, because what he saw wasn't his past being repeated. IT was his future unfolding. That answer didn't arrive with fanfare. It came silently, steadily, with more heart than hype. But make no mistake, that moment didn't just appear out of nowhere. It was built over time, and that's what makes it matter. Rewind just a few years. Charlie Woods first captured the golf world's attention not with a club in hand, but standing beside his father at the PNC Championship, dressed the same, swinging the same, walking the same. A viral sensation before he ever teed it up under real pressure. The media didn't call him Charlie. They called him Tiger's son. He hadn't earned the spotlight. He inherited it. And with every nod, every glance, every high five from his father, the bar quietly rose. This wasn't just about becoming a strong junior golfer. This was about chasing a myth. And in chasing a myth, he became the mystery. Was the potential real or just genetics in motion? Fast forward to June 2025, the 108th Florida Amateur Championship. The crowd was small by PGA standards, but the weight of presence was colossal. In a golf cart under the Florida sun sat Tiger Woods, a man who had conquered everything, now watching something he could no longer control. His son, navigating pressure on his own terms. Charlie wasn't being coached. He wasn't being micromanaged. Tiger didn't offer swing tips or instruction. He was there to watch, proud, quiet, present. And in that stillness, it became clear. This wasn't about legacy anymore. This was about arrival. Charlie's story at Ballon Isles doesn't open with applause or highlight reels. It begins with restraint, with steady rounds, with a glaring absence of errors. He didn't roar into the spotlight. He walked into it. Hole by hole. He looked less like a kid trying to prove something and more like someone who already knew who he was becoming. That if you watched closely, you realized something. He wasn't chasing Tiger. He was channeling him. This wasn't luck. This was dominance. Before Florida, there was stream song. At the AJGA Team Tailor-Made Invitational, Charlie Woods ensured no one could ever call him just Tiger's kid again. Entering the tournament ranked 604th, he wasn't on anyone's radar. Not the favorite, not the headline. Just another name on the tee sheet point 3 days later. His name was the only one anyone could stop talking about, because what he did didn't whisper potential. It screamed proof. The numbers alone were staggering. 15 under par, capped by a closing round of 66 featuring 8 birdies. But it wasn't the scorecard that shook the golf world. It was how he did it and who he beat. The field included 4 of the top 5 junior golfers in the country, including Miles Russell, the undisputed number 1. Charlie didn't just edge them out. He didn't survive the pressure. He crushed it. He finished 3 strokes ahead in one of the most competitive junior events of the year. This wasn't a fluke. It wasn't luck. It was a methodical dismantling that ESPN and Golf Digest quickly picked up the story. But even their headlines couldn't capture the shift. This wasn't just a breakout performance. It was a reintroduction. Fans, coaches, and even fellow players began calling him not Tiger's son, but serious, standalone title contender. For the top juniors, the Woods name went from nostalgic reverence to real-time threat. The legacy had returned, but this time, it had its own swing, its own stride, its own story. There's a difference between playing well and playing with presence. Charlie had both. He didn't ride momentum. He created it. He didn't wait for mistakes. He forced them. Every hole was a statement. Every birdie, a message. He wasn't waiting for his name to be called. He was taking IT to as the dust settled its stream song. One thing was clear. Junior Golf had a new reality, and his name was Charlie Woods. And then came Ballon Isles. This time, it wasn't just a course. This wasn't about fans or rankings. This wasn't the coach. This was a father. Tiger Woods didn't arrive with fanfare. No press conference, no entourage. Just a man in a cart, sunglasses on, quietly near the ropes at the Florida Amateur Championship. And yet, his presence shifted everything. Fans whispered. Cameras leaned in. Even the air seemed to change. Because when Tiger Woods watches, the stakes feel higher. But Tiger wasn't there for the spotlight. He was there for something more personal, something infinitely more powerful. He was there to watch his son stand alone, and he couldn't look away. Observers noticed something unusual about Tiger's body language that weekend. He wasn't analyzing swings or making calls from a practice screen. He wasn't scribbling notes or offering advice. He sat still, leaned forward slightly, elbows on his knees. Every shot Charlie took, Tiger followed. Not with coach's critical eye, but with father's quiet reverence. What he was witnessing wasn't technical. It was transformational. According to Golf Monthly, Tiger's appearance was completely unexpected. He hadn't been seen publicly in weeks, still recovering from a torn Achilles. And yet, there he was, not limping down fairways, but showing up when it mattered most. His presence wasn't promotional. It was paternal, as Sports God described it. Tiger watched with pride, awe, and emotion. When the cameras caught that rare smile, you didn't see a champion. You saw a dad. Those close enough swore they saw him wipe his eyes. Maybe it was sweat. Maybe it was the sun. Or maybe it was something else entirely. When a reporter asked after the round what he thought of Charlie's performance, Tiger kept it simple. Proud doesn't even begin to cover it. No long quotes. No public speeches. He let the moment speak for itself. And perhaps that silence said more than any press statement ever could. This wasn't Tiger Woods scouting future greatness. This was Tiger Woods watching his own legacy unfold from the outside in. No swing thoughts. No media spin. Just a front row seat to a performance that proved his son no longer needed to borrow his spotlight. Because that day, Tiger didn't cast a shadow. He stood in it and smiled. It wasn't just a golf shot. It was a generational exhale. It came late in the round. Not with fireworks, not with drama, but with something quieter, something final. Charlie Woods stood over a slippery birdie putt on the 18th green. The Florida sun hung low, casting long shadows across Ballon Isles. The gallery leaned in. Charlie didn't blink. He read the line, took one smooth stroke, and dropped the ball dead center in the CUP at NO fist pump. No roar, just a walk to the hole, a nod to the crowd, and a tap to the brim of his cap. But outside the ropes, something else was happening. The person holding back the most emotion wasn't Charlie. It was Tiger, the cameraman, captured a shot that would go viral within hours. Tiger Woods, seated near the green, biting inside his cheek, visibly misty-eyed. Sunglasses off, head slightly tilted. This wasn't a man reacting to a score. It was a father witnessing a door open, one he'd once kicked down himself. You could feel it. This wasn't just pride. It was release. Relief. Maybe even redemption. Tiger's life has been built on control of swing, body, media, image. But in that instant, there was none. Only emotion. As the gallery clapped and Charlie walked off the green, Tiger stood for a moment. Slow clap. One nod. A single tear rolling down his cheek. He didn't wipe it. That tear didn't come from watching his son succeed. It came from watching him become. It's impossible not to compare. Tiger Woods at 16 was already called the future of golf. Charlie's path has been quieter, more subtle, more scrutinized. But there, under the same sky where Tiger once learned to win, Charlie revealed something even rarer than talent. He showed poise born not from pressure, but from purpose. Tiger knew exactly what that meant. He wasn't watching a kid copy his swing anymore. He was watching an echo turn into a voice. A last name become a legacy in its own right. And for a man who has lived more history than most can imagine, this moment, this single, simple putt, may have meant more than all the majors combined. Because this time, Tiger didn't write the story. He just turned the page. This wasn't about going viral. This wasn't about Instagram highlights or side-by-side comparisons to his dad. This was about respect, earned quietly, clinically, authentically. In golf, that kind of respect is rarer than raw talent. Charlie walked off the course with a 3-stroke lead, 15 under total. No over-the-top celebration. No club twirl. The job was done. And unlike the early days, when he finished T25 or outside the spotlight and still made headlines just for showing up, this time the attention didn't precede him. It followed him, not because he was Tiger's son, but because he was that good. He didn't inherit this win. He earned it. Rewind for a second. Before Stream Song, Charlie had played 5 AJJ events. His best result? A modest tie for 25th. Critics whispered. Fans second-guessed. The pressure wasn't fair, but it was real. Does he actually have it? They asked, is he just a name? Then came this performance. Not a response. A rebuttal. He didn't silence doubters with words. He drowned them in birdies. The field wasn't soft. It was stacked with top-tier juniors, national champions, collegiate commits, elite recruits. Charlie beat them all, not with trick shots or hot streaks, but with disciplined focus and terrifying calm under pressure. One stroke at a time, he rewrote the narrative. This wasn't a breakout. It was a blueprint. And what makes it different from everything before is how sustainable it feels. This wasn't a one-off lightning bolt. It was a controlled burn. Steady, technical, intentional. That's the kind of golf that wins titles. That's the kind of mindset that turns promise into profession. Charlie Woods isn't just arriving. He's already unpacking. Every legacy starts with one swing, but it's what comes after that defines the era. His victory at Stream On didn't just shake up the AJJ rankings. It blew the doors wide open. One win vaulted him from 64th to 14th, punching his ticket to the Junior Players' Championship at TPC Sawgrass, one of the most elite junior events in the world. This isn't just a tournament. It's a proving ground. The same course where Tiger Woods captured the Players' Championship twice. And now, nearly 25 years later, his son will walk the same fairways with something more than pressure. He'll walk them with purpose. TPC Sawgrass isn't a highlight reel playground. It exposes weakness. Precision matters. Decision-making matters. Nerves matter. And what we've seen from Charlie in the past few months proves he doesn't just have the swing. He has the golf IQ to thrive in an environment like that. College recruiters have noticed. Coaches are watching. Those who may have written him off a year ago, not anymore. Now, they're wondering if they've already missed their chance. The question bubbling beneath it all is simple. How far can this go? AJGA titles are one thing, but what about college golf? What about turning pro? PGA Tour qualifiers are no longer a distant hypothetical. They're a logical next step if this momentum holds. The ceiling isn't visible anymore. That's how steep his trajectory has become. And the only thing more dangerous than a Woods with talent is one with time that as for Tiger. He remains in the wings, calm, supportive, silent, strategic. No overbearing sideline presence, no intense coaching sessions. Just quiet confidence. The mentor instead of the master. He's letting Charlie build his own swing, his own rhythm, his own reputation. That may be Tiger's most impressive evolution yet. Knowing when to let go. Because sometimes the greatest move a champion makes is stepping aside. Have a look at the video appearing on your screen now. Watch closely. This isn't just a son following in his father's footsteps. It's a new chapter being written live.